All right, sorry about that earlier. Good morning. I'm Susie Ingwell here for Out and About in Dane County. This is a Facebook post for Beyond the Page, and Beyond the Page is an endowment held at the Madison Community Foundation, which funds free humanities programs at all Dane County libraries. Today we are in Middleton, Wisconsin at Electronic Theater Controls with our guest, Tamara Brognano. Let's turn this. Okay. Hey there, Tamara. Thanks for being here with us today.
Good morning. Thanks so much for coming out to see me.
So tell us about where we are here.
Well, we are in the third floor drawing room at ETC. ETC is a great company in Middleton that makes electronic theater controls, is what the ETC stands for. We make a lot of theater-related products, lighting fixtures, lighting consoles, rigging materials, all kinds of great stuff for theaters and other entertainment venues.
Okay, tell us about, there's this big something on the wall here behind us. What is that?
Oh, isn't that amazing? So one of the neat things about this space at ETC, it's sort of a lounge slash workspace for people to kind of come up and use throughout their day. And all the walls in our space are chalkboards.
Oh,
so,
look at that dragon over there.
Isn't that great? Some of our more creative types will come up here and go to town with the chalk. Some of us who are less creative like me just, write graffiti.
Okay.
But yeah, the artwork behind me was made by my friend Liz Rathke, who's not only one of our video producers at ETC, but she's also a scenic artist. She does a lot of work for theaters here in town.
Nice,
so,
nice.
Yeah, pretty neat stuff.
Yeah, all right, so, well, thanks for being here, and I just wanted to start by talking about the posts that we had from you yesterday, which were your clues.
Yes.
And the first one was about you singing with Tom Wopat in 2008. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So in 2008, the theater company that I work with, Four Seasons Theater, we did a production of Stephen Sondheim's Follies, a concert production of that musical, and we brought in Tom Wopat to do one of the leading roles. And I was doing one of the leading female roles, so I got to sing a duet with him.
Oh, nice.
And got to act opposite with him. Charming, lovely person, wonderful singer, and just as charismatic and friendly as you would expect him to be.
Yeah, so. Did you grow up watching Dukes of Hazzard?
I did,
yes. So, did I.
So it was difficult in rehearsals not to be just a little starstruck, because, it's like, that's one of the Dukes right there across from me. But he was, just so genuine and friendly and easy to work with. It was a really fun time.
Nice. All right, so your next clue was about being at the Oregon's Firefly Coffee House.
Yes.
And you go there a lot?
I do. So I live in Oregon, which is, of course, just south of Madison, and we have one wonderful coffee shop right on Main Street in Oregon. Beautiful kind of open space with lots of little workspaces and sofas and chairs. And it's a favorite place for me to drag my kids on Saturday mornings. And it's also a favorite place where I do a lot of my reading and research for the work that I do for the theater group that I work with for Four Seasons Theater.
Tell us a little bit about your work at Four Seasons.
Sure. So Four Seasons Theater is a local theater company. We do exclusively musical theater. And I've been involved with them since the theater was founded in 2005. For the last 7 years or so, I've been officially on staff with Four Seasons as the outreach coordinator.
Okay.
So I work to coordinate all of the free programming in the community for our events at area libraries, and then also events at senior centers and retirement communities and other locations.
Nice, and we'll talk about that in just a minute, I know.
Okay.
So your third clue was about how you were a baker and you share your treats.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite request from people that you bake?
I tend to bake a lot of brownies. I've got a brownie recipe that I do so frequently that I no longer need to look at the recipe. It's just all in my brain.
Well, I'm glad to hear it's not out of a box.
Yes. Oh,
you're actually
no. I mean, nothing
a real
against,
cook.
Brownie mixes are lovely and fine and such, but I really like the brownies that I make, I have to admit. I'm a chocoholic. The other cookie that I make a lot is a ginger cookie that tends to get very good reviews, particularly from grown-ups. My kids don't like them as much, but the ginger cookies tend to go over really well with grown-ups.
Okay, and do you think you can share one of the recipes with us later?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I could probably share. The brownie one I can do from memory, and the ginger one I'd have to look up.
All right. Well, I'll post that in a different post. Okay, so let's move on to those pictures. So one of the pictures, you had a book, and I couldn't read the title. So can you tell us what the importance is of that book to you?
Oh, well,
what it is?
And it's a really sweet photo, actually. It was my birthday 2 years ago, I think, and my husband gave me this book. It's one of these little books that has statements with fill-in-the-blank answers.
Oh,
and it was
okay.
all about love. And he had gone through the book and filled in all the blanks with, you know, these sort of statements like, I love you when you blank. And then he put something silly in there. It was just so sweet.
Oh,
it was
that's
you know,
nice.
one of those lovely birthday presents that you just go, oh.
Yeah, I got one of those for my girls that I keep. So now she's a teenager. I kind of look back. I'm like, oh, she did love me.
Remember when they were sweet before they were teenagers?
Yeah. All right. So it's winter here in Middleton, Wisconsin, freezing, and your other picture is of you in some tropical location that I would love to be at. So where were you?
That was Jamaica. My husband had a sabbatical, so we got to take a nice long trip, and it was lovely to just lay around, enjoy the warmth, and I read a ton of books, so I was happy as a clam.
Did you bring the kids?
We did, yes.
Yeah.
And luckily we were at one of these places that had a variety of different pools.
Okay.
So the 3 kids went off and swam the whole time, and I just kind of laid on the little
nice.
you know, lounge and read and had fruity drinks.
Yeah, did you have a favorite there? I saw that one was in the picture.
You know, it was some sort of frozen slushy kind of drink with a little bit of alcohol in it, but I honestly don't remember what it was, but it was delicious.
Yummy,
Yep.
yummy. So your other picture is you from the back with long, long hair. So can you turn around? Let's see.
Sure. So it's not quite as long as it was in that picture.
Oh, yeah, you've cut
It
it.
was down, you know, further.
Yeah.
That was right before I donated my hair, so I had been growing it out really crazy long. And in fact, the show that I had done just before that picture was taken, my dear friend Jan, who has done hair and makeup for some of our shows, had a little bit of a challenge, I think, getting my hair up for that show because there was so much of it to cram into the hairstyle.
And what did you do with your hair? When you cut it?
Oh, when I cut it? Well, I donated it. I had well over 10 inches to donate. And then it was just kind of like this chin length kind of thing for a while before I grew it back out again.
I bet your hair is pretty unique to get donated with all the curls in it.
It was very curly. And it wasn't as gray at that point either.
Nice.
So I don't know if they'd take it now.
All right. So let's move on to some other questions I have. So how are you connected to Beyond the Page?
All right. Well, so Beyond the Page, of course, is this lovely program that helps produce humanities-based programming in area libraries. And in my capacity as the outreach coordinator for Four Seasons Theater, part of my job is to try to find ways to bring musical theater to people who otherwise wouldn't get access to it, people who can't necessarily come down to the Overture Center. And so one of the great things about Beyond the Page is that they're providing financial support for Four Seasons Theater to bring outreach programs into area libraries. So for example, just this week we were in Mount Horeb Monday night, we were in Wanakee on Tuesday night, and we were in DeForest on Wednesday, and next week we're going to be in Oregon and McFarland and getting to a lot of area communities to bring musical theater out to them.
Yeah, I did go to the Wanakee one, and I was so impressed with those singers. I love Tevye.
He's marvelous, isn't he?
Yes.
Our Tevye is Jace Nichols, who's a marvelous local performer. We really have such a wealth of great performing artists here in Madison, and it's a treat for me to be able to get to showcase them.
Yeah, and next week you have a number of them, right?
We do, yes. We've got 4 different programs. I'm trying to think, Fitchburg, McFarland, Oregon, and Sun Prairie, I think, is the 4th.
Okay.
And then we have one more week beyond that where we're doing Madison's Hawthorne Library, Middleton, and I'm going to forget the last one, Verona.
And then you're going to be able to be home at night.
Yes. Yes. My children ate cereal and pizza a lot this week while I was gone.
Well, we thank you for your dedication to be on the page. All right, so we're going to move on to Dane County favorites. What is your favorite Dane County restaurant?
So I'm a little biased because I am an Oregon person. So I thought I'd give you 2 Dane County favorites. One is my favorite Oregon restaurant, which is La Roca's, which is this lovely little Sicilian mom and pop place in Oregon. If you're ever in Oregon, I highly recommend it. It's a tiny little place, but the most scrumptious Italian food you'll ever have. And in Madison, I love going to Sabai Thong when I get down into Madison for good Thai food.
Okay, those are new to me, so thank you. All right. What about your favorite place to visit on the weekends in Dane County?
Favorite place to visit on the weekends? I had to think about this one because if it were not winter right now, I would say my favorite weekend activity is the farmers market down in the square, which is of course just so wonderful.
Yes.
And I'm already looking forward to that first weekend in whether it's April or May, I forget, when it finally gets going again, and there's just all that asparagus everywhere, and it's fantastic. But in the winter, I have to say,
we have to get back to the winter.
Yes. So my favorite place in Dane County in the winter is, and again, this is my Oregon bias showing, but the Firefly Coffee House. I love going there, just hanging out, having a big scone, and curling up. They've got a nice little fireplace in there and reading with my kids.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I was thinking of maybe going to the Chazen this weekend.
Oh, that's
Indoor.
a great idea. Yes, indoors and getting to see lovely things. That sounds like a great idea as well. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So since it is winter, do you have any place you go outdoors in the winter?
And you know, in the winter, I have to admit, I'm really a homebody.
You are.
You'll find me much more often by my fireplace with my whatever I'm reading. But
yes.
I will say that my favorite outdoor activity when I have to be outdoors is taking my kids sledding.
Oh.
Which is, you know, one of those great Wisconsin activities.
Yeah.
Now, arguably, the kids are out sledding. I'm usually in the minivan with my book and a blanket, so I'm not actually sledding, but they're outdoors.
I'm with you on that. All right. All right. So since we are part of the library, we always have to ask about book recommendations.
Right.
So I know you brought some. Can you share with us?
I did. So as a sort of a plug, too, for the programming that we're going to be doing this week, next week, and the week after that as part of our Beyond the Page program, I have to give a plug to this book.
Okay.
Which is a really wonderful book by a cultural critic, a theater critic, and historian named Elisa Solomon, called Wonder of Wonders, A Cultural History of Fiddler on the Roof. If you're curious at all about Fiddler on the Roof as a musical, its development, the short stories that inspired it, and a whole bunch of other really great information, this has been a really fantastic book. I've enjoyed reading it.
And if you don't want to read the whole book, you can just go to your Fiddler production and you can
yes,
just
and I'll give you,
get an hour clip of it, right?
Now, and for other book recommendations, I'm hoping that some of the Beyond the Page fans like me are also fans of high fantasy. I'm a nerd. What can I say? So I had to bring up my two most recent favorite fantasy series.
Okay.
One of which is Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archive. This happens to be the first book in the Stormlight Archive series called The Way of Kings. And if you're a fantasy fan and you have not read Brandon Sanderson, for goodness sakes, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Read some Brandon Sanderson. And this is the other one, Brent Weeks, who's not quite as well known. This is the first book in the Lightbringer series. The Black Prism is the name of the novel.
All right.
Really fantastic high fantasy book.
Nice.
And if I want to give one lighter item, if you're into romance at all, this is a really great contemporary romance writer that I just discovered this year, and I love finding new authors that I love. Her name is Penny Reed, and this is the first in the Knitting in the Series series. Knitting in the City series. I misspoke.
Oh.
So yeah, if you like clever romantic comedy, this is marvelous.
Well, I do. Thank you. Very interesting.
She's a fantastic writer.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
So, two more questions for you today. What is your proudest accomplishment? We're getting serious here.
Ooh, that is serious. Proudest accomplishment. My first impulse is to say my 3 kids.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't really accomplish them. They're just they're fantastic all on their own.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to get to be around them. I think the other thing that I'm really proud of actually is the work that I've done with 4 Seasons in our outreach programs. I love being a performer. I love doing musical theater, but there's really just an added layer of meaning and joy that I get about bringing live musical theater out to, you know, an assisted living facility or an adult day facility for people who otherwise wouldn't get, you know, live performances right in their space.
Yeah,
so
great.
I'm very proud of that.
Great, thank you. And we're going to end with a very, very important question. Okay, so
Yes.
think hard.
Yes.
If you had an endless supply of food, what would it be? And we don't need to think about weight.
That's good. Okay, so it's
all,
calorically
okay?
you know,
Yes.
zero balance.
Yes,
Okay.
for sure.
So there are 2 things I can say immediately, and I'm going to give plugs to both these places because they're really great. There's a lovely bakery in Fitchburg called the Rolling Pin,
Yeah.
and they make a cookie called the Chocolate Whopper, which is by far and away the best cookie in the world.
The
And if
Chocolate Whopper.
The Chocolate Whopper. If you haven't tried it, it's a chocolate cookie with a little bit of coffee and walnuts. So good. So
Okay.
go to the Rolling Pin, try the Chocolate Whopper.
All right.
And if you get to Oregon, there's a lovely little chocolate shop called the Chocolate Caper that makes dark chocolate Swiss pralines. If I could just have chocolate Whoppers and dark chocolate pralines and nothing else, I would be happy as a clam till the end of my days.
All right. Those are new for me. Well, thanks for all these new things today.
Sure.
And I do appreciate you being with us. So I'm just going to turn it back to me. So if you guys want to see Tamara the next couple weeks, Go to beyondthepage.com, and it's a listing of all of our free humanities events at the libraries. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for being with us. Bye.